Heidi ho there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Casual Master Quest. This is episode 88. I'm your host for the episode. My name's Nick A, and I'm joined here by my two lovely co-hosts, Tyler and Glenn.
Hey, welcome to Canada Master Quest.
Sorry, I was practicing that when I went grocery shopping, and I'm like, I want to do that, and so I did that, and I'm happy now.
You did it. You did a thing. You did a thing. Yeah. I'm proud of you. Look at you.
That's purely what I wanted to do. Welcome to episode 88 of Casual Master Quest. Date of recording, February 22nd. This will be out February 24th. I did math.
You did math.
Did math. I'm good.
I'm such a proud man. I'm so proud.
How's everybody doing?
I did okay. I did a thing. I did a thing. I saw a thing. I saw the Sonic. The Sonic.
You saw the Sonic movie?
I saw the Sonic. I'm not a Sonic fan, but I saw the Sonic. It was actually.
They must have used really like high speed cameras to be able to see Sonic.
Yeah, he moves so fast.
Because he's so fast.
Yeah, the movie was supposed to be 3 hours long, but they wait, no. Yeah, but.
Was it really?
No, it was 45 minutes long, so they slowed it down to an hour and a half. That way we could see Sonic. Like, there's little blips of blue here and there.
Yeah, you're the editor. You can cut all of that fumbling out. Just make it sick. Yeah, the movie was supposed to be 45. You didn't say the 3 hours at all.
Tyler, can you edit this out? Nick, eat my ass.
How was the Sonic movie overall, without, obviously any spoilers? Did you enjoy it?
Jim Carrey was fantastic in his performance. I wish there was more of him. But anytime he was there and he did his thing, he shined.
As Jim Carrey does.
Think they did as Jim Carrey does. Like, it's amazing. I don't even know how old he is. He's getting there, but he's been entertaining generations upon generations. And so far, his latest thing, still pretty fucking good. The storyline was meant for an hour and a half movie, so it wasn't anything like, epic, but it was good. They landed, it was natural, it felt right, and they put something at the end to suggest that they're totally done for making a second movie if it received positive reviews. It turns out that it's the highest, well, we talked about this, the highest selling video game movie of all time, and it's actually making, buku bucks for what the budget is, last I heard. And, sounds promising. I had a really good time. They were funny. There was 2 times that Sonic did the floss dance, and I got scared, but they toned it down, so it worked out.
Well, I mean, it is for kids, and also just a quick tidbit. Jim Carrey is 58 years old.
Wow, he's actually younger than I thought. Yeah. Wow. Man, it's like,
dude.
What year is Jim Carrey born then? 58, God forbid I do math, 1962 then, or something like that?
Correct, 1962.
Okay, so I was like, Liar Liar, I believe, was an early 90s film, and that's probably one of my
favorite films by him, ever, like, of all time. Liar Liar is.
And then I think Ace Ventura was before that, so I guess that would be where he was probably the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can say that. He would have been in his early 20s. Man, what a great start to a prominent career.
And who knew movies like actors like an actor like Jim Carrey who did The Mask and Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber, who would turn into the guy that was in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Like, he's got some serious range. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good Sonic movie. Had a good time. Ate a lot of popcorn. Did a lot of farting. And yeah.
Seems apropos for a movie.
That was the only thing that was shitty was the greasy popcorn.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the farts.
Well, I mean, cause and effect, Popcorn was great. Let me put that there. Beyond that, though, this upcoming week, this Tuesday is my birthday, so I've been trying to get things set up, giving people wish lists and stuff. The scary part is a lot of my friends share birthdays on February, and I'm trying to save save money up for the Canada trip. I don't want to buy anybody presents, and I don't want them to get me presents, but since they know I'm Daddy Warbucks about buying presents for people, they feel obligated, and I'm like, no, we can call it good this year, let's just chill out, at birthday wishes. Birthday wishes are free,
Right.
That Goodwill. Also, like, I think, when I was younger, at least, whenever anybody got me a gift, I felt obligated to give a gift back. But now I'm kind of like, especially if I don't ask for anything, you got me this of your own volition. I will thank you greatly. I will appreciate it, but I am under now no obligation to return it because it is a gift.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't a trade.
Yeah, no, unless, it really depends on who's giving me the gift too. If it was somebody I haven't spent a lot of time when they gave me a gift, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna, thank you. I really appreciate this, but
it works for Glenn. He's now a part of Casual Master Quest, so, all them subs.
Yep.
That was just dividends, my friend.
Right? You got me. Hook, line, and sinker.
And beyond that, though, this week I wanted to do a joke on my wife by she asked us sometime last weekend if what she should do for her next emote for Twitch. And so she messaged Brandon and I, and so Brandon and I proceeded to play the role of, yes, we're exquisite artists. We're gonna draw you something fantastic. What would you like? And I was gonna jokingly make her a picture of a polar bear using Microsoft Paint, but then I discovered an app on my phone that allowed me to draw like a motherfucker. And I've been drawing. I've been doing a lot of drawing off my phone. This week,
you've been doing good work.
Yeah, I can't draw. I know the artwork says otherwise, but I can't draw. But, I don't know what drawing is constituted at that point, but that program makes it so easy to do whatever I want to do that it's amazing. And I believe it's called.
Okay.
Can if we want to. It's my secret weapon now at this point, but I believe it's called Ibis Paint. It looks like Ibis Paint X, IBIS Paint. And apparently this is actually used quite a bit by artists to do manga specifically. So anybody who's interested in doing manga, there's a lot of tools. And I think $8 removes, there's certain brushes and whatnot. If you watch an ad, you can use the brush kind of situation. But $8 unlocks everything for you for the most part. I would say 98% of stuff. And I have so many different tools, and I keep discovering more and more shit as I draw. I discovered texture shading, taking kind of like, what's the name? The Wonderful Adventures of Gumball kind of situation where their actual body is like made of like a certain texture or something silly like that, like tablecloth or whatnot. And I've been having fun with it. Got a good kick out of it. And so far I drew 2 Twitch emotes, Brandon's character and my character. And my next project is to work on Nick's character, which still terrified of, even though he said if it's fan art, he won't criticize it as harshly, but we'll see.
So just to clarify, it's an application for mobile phones. It's called Ibis Paint. Ibis Paint X is the free version. Ibis Paint is the paid version, and it is on both iOS and Android.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
And guys,
can you use the stylus with it?
I haven't tried it yet. That's actually on my birthday wish list to see if you can use the stylus. But if you can use your phone and you can use something that's, respondent to the stylus, if you can use the stylus on your phone, I don't see why not.
That's really cool.
But I've been able to spend I'll be on a 10-hour work shift, but 6 of those hours I'm just sitting in the passenger seat. If you have time and you want to burn it, you can draw the hell out of stuff, and it doesn't burn the battery like a lot of other apps like Pokemon Go. Holy shit. But yeah, I've been learning to draw, been having fun, been doing a lot of tracing, been doing texture shading and all that stuff. And honestly, I have no idea how to do shading and lighting or stuff, but as long as I do enough of it, it looks okay. It doesn't look too bad. And more importantly, I'm getting free art.
I can confirm that Ibis Paint is available to download on my iPad, so I would assume that I could use my stylus with it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Are we getting a live test feature?
No, not gonna do that.
Aw.
But,
Nick is gonna draw at the end of the episode. He'll show us what he has completed.
Yeah, I'll show you my kick-ass stickman. Glenn, how's your week been?
It's been good. Pretty uneventful. It's been raining kind of off and on, which is really nice. It actually started pitter-pattering on our metallic window overhangs just before I got into the call. So I love that.
Nice.
It's like the sun's coming back out, which is something it does here, where it'll rain for an hour and then be done, rather than just rain for a day. So.
I forgot what rain is like, man. I missed it already. Rain this time of year over in Michigan's scary.
Oh, because it's all frizz. Yeah.
it can easily freeze, overnight, which means it turns to ice. But I mean, if it's like let's say a 50 or, let's be generous, 40-degree day and it stays in the 40s above freezing.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a cold rain, but it's still rain, I enjoy it. I love rain. I don't like driving in rain, but I love rain.
As long as you're riding passenger,
I like the rain too.
You guys just fused together in that comment. I have no idea what either of you said.
I said I like the rain too, and Glenn said as long as you're riding passenger, you're good.
Yeah, absolutely. Just hold on to both the the handles of the door and whatever religious figure you have, and you're good.
Over with me, my week has been quiet. I've had the week off school because this is when our spring break is, so we don't get spring break.
Yeah.
We get this week as a spring break, and I haven't done anything, which has been nice. I've had a few deadlines through the holidays, and I've got those in, so things are going okay. But I decided, at least with some of the friends in my acting class, we decided we wanted to do something. So we're doing a potluck dinner, and that's going to be tonight right after we finish recording.
Not just any potluck, though, Nick. It's going to be your potluck.
Yes, I'm hosting. It's over at my place, and I am very excited. I used to host a lot growing up, and I haven't done that in a while. And let's have some people over, have some drinks, have some food.
Who's invited?
Everybody in my actors class.
Oh, man, I got excited for a second. When are you going to invite me the stuff, Nick? Come on.
Whenever you don't have to take a 5-hour flight out to see me.
Oh, suddenly it's stipulations to see you. I see how it is.
Yes,
you're too far reaching, so to speak.
Yes, exactly. I have to have standards on who I invite to my events on a regular basis.
You Futurama me on an iPad or something? Just put me on top of the fridge?
I mean, if you want...
Just hear me shout, hey, can you give me a cold one?
I mean, if you want, the moment the thing starts, I could just live stream the whole thing on Twitch.
Big... Done. Perfect. Thank you. Just chatting.
Yeah, just chatting. Beyond that, I've been doing a lot. I hate this. I think I talked about this. I mentioned this before. I hate that I've only just found D&D, but I've been doing a lot of D&D. And I'm getting the groove of being a DM, and my group's feeling my groove, and I'm feeling their groove, and we're just kind of grooving together. Like, it's slowly syncing up. Like, we're only 3 sessions in.
Man.
It's a lot of grooving.
So
it's a lot of grooving and a lot of vibing and a lot of syncing, and it's
groovy, baby.
But it's going good. I'm happy with how that's turning out. There was one other thing that happened this week, but I just can't remember what it was.
You rolled a nat 20 and then you said vibe check as you murder them.
I wish. I don't think I've ever rolled a critical on any of my players yet.
I saw
I've just been rolling ass.
I saw a thing on it's like the DM's only group on Facebook. You have to apply to get it. It's stupid. But people just ask questions if they're new DMs or if they have situations where they're like, I don't know what to do here. Or if things are just really interesting or crafting. It's a lot of stuff. But there was one DM who posted a thing today who listed out a scenario where on 7 different die for 7 different checks, whether attacks, saving throws, 7 times in a row, different players on different dies rolled 20s in a row.
Jesus.
And he was like, this happened, and then they rolled a 20, so they got out of it, and then they did this, and they avoided this thing, and then they did this, and they hit him back, and then they did this, and this happened to this guy, and I was just like, how do you even do that? And then somebody did the math. It's like 1 in 1.16 billion. That's a 1 in 1.16 billion chance, of that to happen 7 20s in a row. So
holy smokes.
It's crazy.
I thought the double crit smite that happened in my thing was crazy. That's 1 in 400, I believe.
Yeah. No, that is crazy, for sure. Don't downplay it, man. That is definitely crazy. But
okay,
7?
Yeah.
7?
Double 20s. That sounds like incredible luck or cheating.
Yeah. It's a bit of both, maybe. But there was one other thing I wanted to mention, and I can't remember it, so I'm sure it'll be a tangent at some point. So before we diverge into the tangents and fully explore them and how do I say this? Redirect conversations entirely based on our tangents. We are a video game podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
We are a video game podcast, and Glenn, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I mean, one of the games is something I started to jump back into that is a little bit because of you.
Me?
Yeah, there's a game that you hold near and dear to your heart that I I jumped into for the first time since Forsaken came out.
I don't know about near and dear.
Time since forever.
It is. It's first time since forever, and I tried out the cross save, so I purchased both of the expansion packs again, but I was able to move over my old character from Destiny 2 and start working on the storyline with you and kind of just figuring out how to play again on a mouse and keyboard.
Right, because
so.
getting used to bindings and stuff, and
yeah,
I think it was pretty chill.
Yeah.
The only thing I ever feel bad about taking like newer players through things, running them through things, is like, all right, Nick, you gotta slow the fuck down. Let them kill something too. Let them do something. Let them feel like they're contributing. Just don't like whip out your dick and slap all the enemies in the face with it. Let them do some of the dick slapping.
That was how it was a few times, but
because you know, like there's a 200 light level difference between us right now, right? And so I'm just like so used to grinding out some of these stories and strikes. I just go on autopilot and I don't think about it because my teammates usually would keep up, right? Because they're the same level and we could just go at the same speed. So like I have to consciously like, all right, slow down. Oh, this part's cool. Let's wait for him to like experience this first. So like I try to do that, especially with certain things with stories. I'm like, let them go first because I've already seen this. So why should I like ruin any of like the voice lines and stuff? So, but yeah, we played for a little bit.
Yeah,
nice.
I'd like to get some more time in. But that's been a good time. Obviously we only got one game in, but I've been back on the Breath of the Wild train as well, which is something that both of you will be happy about.
Yes,
hell yeah!
I finally got off the plateau, and
yes, he did.
Currently. Just arrived at the Zora Castle and found out about the
Zora's
girl.
domain,
and,
nice. Look at you.
Found out what's going on up there. Prince Sidon, right? Prince Sidon.
Oh man, Prince Sidon. He is what a dream.
Dreamboat. I'm sure there's so much.
You're gonna do great, Link. I believe in you.
Yeah. Well, he also said the same thing to that random chick that also went up the road. So I think he was just looking for a human to help him out and knew that a human would be able to not be shocked to death immediately by this creature that he'd need the arrows from. But anyway, seeing one of the creatures before it had fallen or turned or whatever was really cool in that moment where he remembered her, the princess. Princess
Mipha.
Mipha, yes.
Mipha is probably... There's like a weird debate on because...
Mipha's fucking adorable and I would die for her.
She is cute and whatnot, but there's also a cutscene that you may see later, Glenn, depending if you play the DLC, that shows a more different side of her.
Okay.
In a good way. But, you know, when you first see Mipha, it's like, oh, she's cute and shy and kind of mentality and whatnot. But she's cool as shit. I heal people, and then I died. But, whoops. Oh, yeah, it's very sad. It's so weird that you're enjoying, like, tragic memories of people. It's always bittersweet with Link.
Yeah, and that I think honestly my favorite thing about the game so far has just been adjusting. Because much like WoW Classic, it doesn't give a shit about what you think. It's just the world works a certain way and you have to adjust to that. Like when I started slipping off of rocks when I was climbing it because it was raining, I was like, this sucks! But it makes sense, so I can't climb rocks when it's raining, you know, like...
It's undeniable logic and I hate it!
It made super sense, but like, and like, getting to tame my first horse, how freaking cool, man, like, that was so much fun.
I will never forget...
like a fool of...
Okay, no, I can't say anything, but there was a few times, Tyler, when you were over here and then you were watching me finish, or at least try to finish Breath of the Wild. There's a few times where I did things that took you forever to do, and I just remember you being a little frustrated.
Watching you do like the smart way of doing things?
No, like there are certain things, and like I really just don't want to spoil it for Glenn, but Glenn, like watching you play it was like I was watching Glenn play it earlier this week, and for me, watching people play Breath of the Wild now at least is very much like watching people play The Witcher 3. I just love it because it's such a beautiful game, and even just them watch, and there's so many ways to do everything. Like Glenn solved a puzzle. There's one shrine where where there's one wall's a wall of water, and there's a stone ball running down, and you have to like use ice blocks to guide the stone ball into a specific place. He went up to the puzzle to do it when there were stairs on the other side, and his cryo freeze would have reached from across the gap. And I'm like, it worked. That's amazing.
Yep. Still getting used to some mechanics. I'm like, oh, I'm up on this mountain. I need to get down there, but I can't jump or I'll fall. You have a glider, idiot. I have to tell myself that I have a glider so often.
And Glenn, you just have to, for no particular reason, I've even told him this before, but for no particular reason, Glenn, you have to make sure you get to 13 hearts.
Yes. I don't know why, but
that should be your priority.
13. I'm going to help before I fight Ganon, right?
Whenever. Just make sure.
I mean,
by the end of the game, I have 13 hearts.
If we're gonna be honest here, the sooner you get the 13 hearts, the better. Like, you get an ability that helps you out in the long run, essentially.
Wonderful.
And that is the threshold. So I would recommend that. If you do it sooner, it'll help you out. But if you like a challenge or you think you're having a good challenge now, don't worry about it.
I'm all about the narrative, man. So if I can be stronger and get through story-based fights faster, I'll
help you explore more.
Hearts.
Yeah, it'll also help you explore more and get more like weapons and just get stronger as you go along as well.
Oh my god, yeah. Finding new weapons. I thought I was going to hate the fact that these things kept breaking down. I hear that the Master Sword doesn't do that, or you can repair it, which is good. Because eventually I would like for that to be the case where I have like an item. I'm very much like that, like I was with my Gen 1 Pokemon. I wanted to have a thing that I use, or like I found this thing and now it's my thing, and I use it for everything. Or I upgrade it or whatever, where Pokemon evolves, all that shit. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying the progression of learning and kind of like being like, oh, that has 3 question marks over that weapon. I've never seen it before, you know?
I was giddy like that for shields, because, you know, you're used to seeing like the same 5 shields, but then you see this one shield and it's like, oh, here we go. Have you been able to upgrade anything, Glenn?
No, but I hear that I need to keep my choo-choo jellies, I think is what they're called.
For certain things. Just hold on to most things right now.
Yeah, I saw a guide online that said, wait until you have 200 of anything, especially monster parts, before you sell anything. So if you've got 200 bat wings, great. Now you can sell one, you know?
I'm going to say that 90% of the upgrades don't require gems, so you can sell them.
Okay.
But you might shoot yourself in the foot at the same time, because there might be that one thing you're like, oh, I really like this, but it'd be nice if it had, you know, more oomph to it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it needs, you know, 10 topaz. And it's like, fuck.
Sold all my topaz. Yeah, no, I'll hold on to things unless I need to sell them at this point. I'm also really down to try and find one of the cool special mounts, because running around and then patting my horse, and he just goes, and then it's like,
look at my sword. My sword is amazing.
My horse loves me. Look at our bond.
Well, if you want me to point in the right direction to a horse,
there's 2 directions.
There's 2 directions.
Because I've heard that there's a horse that comes from the royal line of Zelda's horse somewhere.
Yeah.
And then there's also like a spirit horse somewhere too.
Glenn, I mentioned it in the chat as a joke called Ganon horse.
What?
Yeah.
Is it real?
It's a real ass horse. There's a horse out there that is the biggest horse of them all, and I called it Ganon horse.
You call it Ganon horse? Or is it called Ganon horse?
I think the community's
No, it's not called Ganon horse.
Okay.
I always called it Ganon horse. If you ever see it, you'll know why.
It's huge, right?
It's a Ganon warlord of a horse.
It also has like Ganon's color scheme from like other games. But the only downside to the Ganon horse is it can't sprint. It can't gallop.
But it's huge. So it's long legs.
Massive.
It has incredible strength levels. Like I think it's like most stuff can cap at 3, and I'm pretty sure the strength of that horse is 5. Yeah, it's incredibly like you could run over something and it will hurt.
So is that the cap for all horses though? Is 4? Is
5 stars on most things. Like you'd have to like get really lucky with certain things. I think it's speed and stamina that can cap out on wild horses, but strength cannot.
You know what they screwed up on with Breath of the Wild?
On wild horses?
4, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
They should have done horse breeding.
Imagine.
Can you imagine? That would have been fucking cool.
Breed a 5-star stamina with the 5-star speed. Do you have a 5-star speed and stamina? Oh.
Is that not possible? Pegasus. Normally?
No, that would be nice.
I
Everything
have
you want to
get, you
gotta
speed
catch.
and a 4 stamina horse. I have.
That's fantastic.
That's great, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
do what I
fantastic.
do and immediately teleport out and leave it in the middle of a field to be collected like a lost car later.
That's what I did.
Whoops.
But then I realized that you can go to the stable and be like, hey, bring my horse here. I like that.
Oh, can
like,
you? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
they were like,
you can go and
literally. He was like, you have to be in range for the whistle to work because this isn't magic. And then I left him way in the north on accident because I thought it would teleport me with him. And it got me there and I was like, no horse. So I just went up to him and I was like, hey, can you bring my horse back? Not by magic. And then 2 seconds later, it was just walking up to the place. And I was like, great.
Cool. Yeah, that works out. I didn't know that. I never used a horse, honestly. What? I always did it by foot.
I did like majority of my exploring by foot too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Yeah,
but
running. I like how they're like, oh, some of these machines, the machines only work when they're close to Ganon's castle. Bullshit. 3 times now I've wandered into a large field and there's a working fucking guardian and it just hits me once and kills me and I'm just like, these things, look at the castle, how far it is. It's so fun. Anyway, Breath of the Wild is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. And then the last game.
I'm happy for you, I think.
Well, I've been playing a little TFT and Summoner's Rifts, which is fine. They're coming up with a new thing soon on TFT. It's called Galaxies, I think. Okay. But then also WoW Classic. I'm experiencing my first guild drama, which is
hell yeah,
interesting.
Now you're living the true life.
Yeah, we have some. Apparently, we have some Chinese players who used to be a part of a super guild during vanilla, and those people are getting back together, so they're server transferring. So they were like, oh, we won't leave for 2 weeks, but we'll help you replace us. And stuff like that. But they're like top DPS and top healers. So like they're really good players in our guild. And I think there's only 7 of them that are leaving. But like they're that important as far as
only 7.
Well, I mean, we have like 60 level 60s. So
still, that's pretty critical.
It still is pretty critical, mostly because of their place in the hierarchy. Like they're all very, very productive members. And a couple other people kind of like freaked out. A couple other like high tier guys went, oh, no, that means we're all going to fall apart. We're leaving. And so they just left. And our guild leader, while a good guy, is a little impulsive sometimes. And apparently they were like feeling bad about it because they're like, man, maybe we shouldn't leave. And then apparently he came into the Discord that they were in and just like started ripping on him. He's a wonderful dude, but apparently he was just very frustrated.
You don't quit. I fire you.
Right. It's one of those things where they were like thinking about coming back. And then he came in and started being angry, and they were like, all right, cool, that solidifies it for me. I don't feel bad anymore, thanks, bye.
When saving face takes such a negative turn.
Yeah. Me, all it seems like is when you give your 2 weeks into your boss, and your boss is like, well, fuck you then. I didn't need you anyway. Like, fuck you for being within your legal rights to do what you need to do. You're fired.
You're fired.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, it's been fine.
Glad.
I did jump runs for the first time.
Please, scaring me with those terms.
You did what?
Jump runs. It's in Dire Mall East where you can hop into
yes, of course.
A cave where they have like I think between 2 and 4 rich thorium veins at the end of it, and mages can solo it. Basically, it's a really, really good way to get arcane crystals quickly to make Arcanite bars. Because I'm working on making a Lionheart helm, which is a very, very good item, and I'm hoping that I will complete it within the next week or 2. Because now that those 7 people are leaving, I was worried I was going to be on the tail end of people not geared enough, not be able to go to Blackwing Lair anymore, which was going to be the case. But now that we've had 9 or 10 people that are now cycling out, they're like, no, we need you. You have to be here. Because I'm one of 3 warriors that are not protection.
Yeah, wasn't it just last week you're basically being politely shuttled out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they were just like, we just need better geared guys in here so we can, actually progress. And it's nothing personal. I was just like, great, it's fine. I'm totally okay with it. I understand. And this week,
you can't be upset though, or
no,
at least annoyed.
I was annoyed and sad because I wanted to be a part of things, but like I wasn't mad at him, for saying that. But then I came in, I signed up this week, just being like, I'm here and I'm available. And then I was like, hey, I understand. And he's like, no. A lot's happened since last week. Here's the deal. We need you. And I was like, great. I mean, I always thought you needed me, but now you really need me. So, it's a good time.
You need me now, and your time
so now all you got to do is threaten to leave, and then watch them promote you to guild leader.
No, I do not.
Damn
want
it,
to
Nick! You took my idea. I was like, you got to barter this shit.
I don't want to run a guild, man. It is okay. There's a lot going on.
Right hand man.
I wouldn't mind being a chancellor, but yeah.
Assistant to the general manager.
Assistant to the GM. That's wonderful. But yeah, it's a good time. The guys are great. Blackwing Lair's fun. We did progress twice as far, so we got past Laz and
that was
got
an Office reference.
I think we got through four of the 8 bosses this week. So next week, hopefully, we'll get through more. This week we brought more healers. We only had 8 last week, and this week we had 13. So
nice.
Yeah. That's why they were like, we're going to increase the healers, and you were already close if we needed to cut somebody. And this week they're like, no, keep coming. You know, we need you. And I was just like, yeah. Because every time we kill a boss in Gate of Hero for a guild for the first time, you get an extra 20 DKP. So like, I was like, I want to be there on the first kills because that's more DKP. And I'm one of like 21 people in the guild who have the most possible DKP, right? So,
nice. And is there like a spreadsheet or something to keep track of that kind of stuff? Or?
Yeah, there's an app around the map in the upper corner. It's just an add-on that you add through Twitch or through your own manual things. And basically, they have an add-on that connects to everybody in the guild, and they can change and add things, and it'll has a little alert that pops up. It's like, you know, you guys have been in Blackwing Lair for another hour. Here's another 10 DKP for everybody, you know, and then it shows your net, your spent, and your total amount of DKP.
It's funny because I remember making fun of you know, messing around with DKP before you started a rating and stuff, and sure shit, yeah, I guess the system's back. So,
and I've got some good stuff too. I got the Helm of Endless Rage.
Nice.
And I got a couple
other... Don't you want the Lionheart thingamabooboo?
I do, but I've still got to make another 7 Arcanite bars. So that's like 400 gold. So it's going to be a while. And before I was running with an actual tanking helmet. So I'm not a tank.
The only reason I know about Arcanite bars
just like I'm not a Sonic fan.
You're not a Sonic fan, of course not. I'd never think you were a Sonic fan. No, never.
Not a Sonic fan.
The only reason I know
what is Sonic?
The only reason I know about Arcanite bars is because one of the streamers I watched who got Hand of Rag in his server for the first Hand of Rag needed like 8 Arcanite bars and like a fucking ton of other shit that fucking takes forever.
50. It's 50 Arcanite bars for Hand of Rag.
50. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, we did get another thing. I'm sorry. Before I forget it, we got Thunder Fury. We have a Thunder Fury in
Blessed Blade of the Windseeker?
Yeah, one of our tanks has it.
Holy shit, this guy's got Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. Look at this guy. Holy crap, he's got Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. Sorry, it's a meme. Anytime somebody links it and somebody will jump in chat saying, "Did somebody say Thunder Fury?" Blessed
I did see somebody made another one on our server.
Somebody said Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. Holy crap.
Somebody made another one on our server last night, and they were like, "It's going down." And they're like, "Did someone say Thunder Fury?" And I didn't get it until just now. But yeah,
cool. So WoW's picking up then, and now it seems like with the fewer people on the regular list for rating, it seems like you'll have a better chance at loot. So that'll help you with some of your grievances.
I might be swapping to Fury. So
nice.
Ooh, double two-hander. You'll be double fisting.
Oh. I really
only way to do it.
I want a Spinal Reaper so bad.
Tyler, how's your what have you been playing this week?
You know, it's been an off week because I've been spending my time learning the draw and all that stuff, but I did get some time in. During the weekend, I got to play some Dead Space 3 with the wife. It is so bizarre getting my wife to play a horror game. But the nice thing is, can you classify Dead Space 3 as a horror game still?
Yes, it is too scary.
100%.
I'm glad I had somebody to play it with me. It is way too spoopy for me.
Okay, well, I mean, I think it's watered down by what you just said. You know, playing with somebody else kind of kills the suspense. You know that even if you are frightened, you do have somebody that has your back at the very least. And
that did also help that when we played, you'd be like, "Hey, watch out from this vent," and I didn't know whether you were being serious or not, so I was just always prepared, so it just made it easier for when something actually did pop out of the fucking vent.
Because paranoia versus just pure obliviousness, I guess, would be like the term here. Like you're jokingly, I kept you alert. Like Amanda, anytime I say, oh, fuck, here we go. I love this one. And she's like, what? I'm like, oh, nothing. And she's like, what? It's like, what's gonna try to kill me? Nothing.
I watched you guys rip the boss in half, so that was tight.
Yeah. We're currently about 2/3 into the game, trying to get to the top, and so far, having a good time. We got stuck at a part where we're climbing up the ice side of a mountain, where if you goof up, it's instant death, no matter the difficulty. So we had some trouble with that, but we managed to get up. Thankfully, I did what any person in Mother Nature, like wildlife, does, is if they sense that their child is in danger, they need to preserve themselves because they can make more children. So I, the mother antelope, ran as fast as I could, leaving her behind to get on top of the mountain. And so when I hit the checkpoint and she died, we were started on the top of the mountain. So it worked out for both of us, but we had to examine our relationship there for a second. Yeah, but it's okay. She had a couple of good kicks messing with me because I wanted the flamethrower, and she's like, "Oh, you mean this thing?" And she'd show off her flamethrower. Okay, Amanda. You're gonna be a little funny here, the old jokester. But yes, been having a good time. I don't want to be condescending to her. I don't think she has any idea what's going on for the most part, but that's okay. I think she's just there to enjoy the moment and shoot zombies. Look, there's a lot of dead space.
She's toasting them.
She's toasting them. And so, take what you can get, right? Small victories. And alongside that, I've been playing a game with Brandon. People might, this might sound familiar. Ocarina of Time Randomizer. We did a last run a couple of weeks ago that ended in failure because we couldn't find an item that followed the logic to its completion. Either a glitch or both of us went through every single chest that we can access in the game. I believe there's 162. We were able to access about maybe 80 to 100 of them. We went through all of those bit by bit, doing a fresh new checklist. Couldn't find it. We had no idea what happened. So we ended up having to give it up, and we started over. We decided to, go through the list, make sure he has a spoiler log, just in case, because we don't want a repeat of that. If you put, 10, 15 hours into a run, only to not be able to complete it, and it's frustrating, you want to have like a backup just in case.
Right.
And so far, it's been going pretty good. Hopefully we're able to finish that sometime soon, and got some hope for it. But, it's been a week. I've been playing with friends. And I haven't gotten a chance to play Dreams. I 100% want to play more Dreams.
Right.
But it's just been a hell of a week. It's like, can I sit down and play, a mixture of other people's game drafts, essentially? Or I could draw the shit out of Magdor Bandir, the dwarf. And it's like, thank you. Before, initially I was fishing for compliments, but I'm hitting my own self-satisfaction. Thank you guys, though. It makes me feel good as, not an artist, as a person who's trying to draw the team. Right. It makes me feel validated.
Don't do that. If you drew it, you're an artist.
Don't draw a band. Fine, I'll delete it right now.
No, okay? Don't downplay the fact that you are an artist. I paint miniatures. That technically qualifies me as an artist.
I believe according to Nick, that makes you a nerd.
That I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, because he fucking calls me a nerd first, so what am I supposed to? I have to fire back,
No, but I didn't mean it badly. Either way,
I know.
I don't want you to downplay how well you're doing and the fact that it is art and you are an artist. It looks very, very good, and I think it will just get better.
Little nephew Jimmy squirts the gun at Uncle Eddie, and then Uncle Eddie just pulls out a full-on shotgun. It's like, okay, wow, let's back up here a minute.
With me, we already talked about I played a little Destiny 2 with Glenn. I've been playing more Apex lately. I talked about this last week. It's just become fun all of a sudden. The only thing I can think of as to why it's become fun is probably because the BR fatigue is worn off. Because I played a lot of Fortnite early in the day, when it first came out. I played a lot of Fortnite.
What's a lot?
Easily over 150 to 250 hours in the first few seasons. Yeah. And
I'm glad. I just want to say right here, I'm glad that you guys, we all use the hour system too. because there's been so many times where it's metric versus was it imperial or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's been causing some complications. Thank God time is measured universally.
Yeah, at least with games too, like that's how you know somebody's like really fucking played the game. How many hours you got in the game? Are you a real gamer? Do you even play this game? Tell me about the Fortnite lore. You don't even know anything about Fortnite
my favorite.
Wait, there's lore in
Name me
Fortnite?
5 Fortnite albums.
A little bit there is actually.
That's a pleasant surprise.
yeah, no, like BR fatigue, like really wore me down when we first started playing Apex, which was sad because Apex was based on, made by Respawn, who made Titanfall 1 and 2, and I absolutely love the movement, the way the games feel. For Apex came out, and it was just like fucking RNG landing, not getting as good a gear as the guy landed next to you, and then he just fucking dominates you, and it just kind of, and it still happens. It's still happening. It's still the case. But like now, it's kind of like there's more, like there's more life and freshness to the game, so we're like, yeah, okay, let's just keep going. Like this is fine. This is fine. Like it's not as bad as Destiny 2 is right now. The PvP. This is fine. Everything's okay. But we've been having fun. Me and Ricky and Dose have been playing actually. Two of my friends who I play with regularly, and we've just been getting our groove together as a team and just figuring out what heroes work well and just figuring out a strategy. We're not trying to grind the ranked playlist like hardcore or anything, but we're just having fun with it, having fun being a little sweaty.
You guys got super serious last night when I was watching, and you were all very good, and it was like call outs, and I don't think you were tryharding though. It just seemed like you were super focused.
Yeah, no, like that wasn't because, so last night when you were watching, we were playing on the first map for Apex, and we're just trying to get used to it because we haven't played on it in a while. But if you if I'd streamed us playing the ranked, we were like really trying. Like that was when I wasn't making any stupid pushes, any stupid plays. I was actually listening. Yeah, so last night we were focused, but we weren't like trying hard. We weren't trying to like win. Like we wanted the win, but we weren't like, I need this win, otherwise I'm gonna fucking die. Like this isn't just a game. Okay, I'm not gonna go into that. Fucking yeah, that's Apex, and then I played another game that I think come as a nice surprise. Boy, is this game a surprise? Not a surprise. Played a little God of War.
I'm excited. Wait, what?
That's a surprise?
What?
Well, for Tyler it is. That's why I put surprise game.
You played God of War?
I played only about an hour, but I did play some God of War.
An hour? Not that's still quite a bit.
I will say.
Well, tell me about it, boy.
I will say this: the game is fucking beautiful.
Hell yeah, it is.
Absolutely gorgeous, especially on a PS4 Pro.
So fucking beautiful.
This might honestly come as hypocritical for me. I understand this, but the FPS doesn't matter as long as it's not a shooter. Because as long as the game is smooth and I can play it, I have no issues with that, especially understanding the limitations of a console. But if I'm playing a shooter, I would like it to be at a 60 FPS minimum, because then it just makes it more accurate. Because there's no accuracy here. I just have to swing my axe and hit.
Yeah.
Hi Tyler. But yeah.
What do you want me to say to that little statement?
I don't want to say anything. I'm just acknowledging that it might be a little bit hypocritical coming from me, but that's the fact. Like, I still enjoyed the game because it's a hack and slash. I don't need to be the most accurate. I just need to make sure my hacks and slashes hit.
I mean, when you swing the axe, there's some precision that needs to be done there.
Yeah, well,
or when you throw it, rather.
Yeah, I don't throw it.
I think the speed of the game is slow enough, though, that it just doesn't affect your experience. Is that all you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, like, especially for a hack and slash, like, it doesn't need to be fast. I just need to make sure I get the combos right and understand things. I'm not throwing that axe yet until I get all access to all the other weapons. I know enough from the game, from watching people stream, watching some other friends play it, that it gets really fucking intense, and I'm excited. I got to the part where he fights, I think where I ended, so this might be a little less than an hour. Where I ended was when he fights Baldur.
Which one did you play?
This is the most recent God of War, so 2018.
Oh, where he's got his with his son.
Yeah. Which is why, so he doesn't have an axe in the other one. Well, he does, but that's more like a great axe. It's like an axe from Monster Hunter that you'd see. I think it's in 2 or 3. Anyways, it's a lot of fun. It really is, and it's interesting because it's got such a wholesome dynamic at times. Like the whole thing about Kratos being so harsh is only because he understands the fact that his curse might have passed on, and his rage, and the fact that he's a Spartan, and his connections with the gods, like it was practically in his blood. And trying to get his son to slow down was interesting, but also like it could have been done a different way, but then what other way does he know?
Well, here comes part 2 of acting class for Vol Nugoni. Shit. Here we go.
But no, I'm enjoying the game. I'm glad I finally got around to it, because I picked it up a few months ago for like $15 or something, and I'm like, I'll play it when Eugene's gone, and then I haven't touched it until now. So, yeah, feels good. To some extent, feels good being on a controller again. And it's like, for me, it's like riding a bicycle, except for a shooter. Like, just playing on a controller in general is easy. Easy in the sense, I'm not saying that it's an easier brain dead way to say it, just to specify. I'm just saying it wasn't hard to pick it back up and just go back to playing on a controller.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
specifically,
okay.
That's what I meant. Yeah, right. But for some games,
right.
the aim assist compensates for that, specifically shooters, and it's fucking stupid, and that shouldn't be a thing. Anyways,
okay,
but
that's an opinion.
We're gonna move on to I'm talking about competitive shooters like Fortnite, because the aim assist is stupid.
Oh my gosh, you're going back to it. Come on, calm yourself. Bequeath your emotions upon thy heart.
Nay. But now it is time for our tangent war chest.
Oh yeah.
Tyler, would you like to tell us what we have this week in our tangent war chest?
So I randomly rolled earlier, and we had the 2 magical terms. Glenn is getting his library mode on, so I dare say, let us go to the appendix. Flip the pages, and the first phrase of the week is bridges. I believe this term stems from the Kojima game known as Death Stranding, but I mean, bridges could mean anything in this case. And the second word or phrase of the week is chicken nuggets, which yeah.
I like chicken nuggets.
I love chicken nuggets.
So I believe one of these terms is Glenn's, one of these terms is Nick's. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Glenn.
I think the green one's mine, right?
I don't remember. I think
really
it
like
is.
chicken nuggets, so it's probably me, but I don't know how I feel about bridges and chicken nuggets together.
Bridges and chicken nuggets, all I could think is that chicken nuggets are the bridge for picky eaters to being socially accepted.
But chicken nuggets is for
because picky eaters will go out to a restaurant and order either chicken nuggets and fries or chicken tendies and fries.
What's a tendy?
Why do you call it
tenders?
Tenders. Thank you, Jesus. Like we've graduated past kindergarten, people.
Well, considering that I'm considerably younger than everybody here, I'm just gonna take it in my stride that I'm gonna still call it tendies. I'm a child. Considerably.
That's
you
fair.
Heard me, sir.
Considerably.
Indubitably.
I bite my thumb at you, sir.
Irrefutably.
You just used a Shakespearean insult and you're gonna call me old?
Yes.
To tendy or not to tendy? That's indeed the question. Oh boy. So got apparently Amanda's in support of you, Nick. So you got that going for you. She's also oh crap. I was about to say she's also a child, but I'm married to her, so that's actually a very scary statement to make, so I'm not gonna make that statement.
Good call.
We're gonna back right up to that. So chicken nuggets. I used to like chicken nuggets. Maybe I still do. And the only problem is though, I'm on a diet, so I can't look at any version of breaded chicken for the most part. But it feels like when it comes to chicken nuggets, it's just they're not that good anymore. Like they're decent, they're bite-sized and whatnot, but at that point, I would rather just go for boneless chicken wings. They come pre-sauced and whatnot. It's like, what do you dip chicken nuggets in? Ketchup, barbecue sauce, right?
No, with the right now McDonald's Canada, at least here in BC, is running a new sauce or a new special burger called the Habanero McChicken. And it's a habanero like mayo dipping sauce, and it's fucking spicy. And then they're giving that as like dipping sauce for nuggets as well. Fucking tight. It's good. Oops.
About maybe 2 years ago, McDonald's decided to announce a temporary return of I think it's called the Szechuan sauce.
Oh, that was a shit show.
People lost their shit, especially after the whole Rick and Morty episode that led to it. And, they came back and everybody's like, holy shit, Szechuan sauce is back. We're going to what is this? Oh. And I tried it. I'm like, I've never tried it before. Let's see what it's like. Oh, it's okay.
What does it taste like? I haven't had it.
It's like Szechuan sauce.
As Szechuan sauce would be like, well, at least the Americanized version would be sweet, spicy, and tangy.
Yeah, it's like a sweet and sour sauce, essentially.
Yeah, sweet and sour sauce with a little bit more of a spice kick. Because Szechuan cuisine is, which comes from province in China, it tends to be quite spicy because Szechuan peppers, I can't remember what the chemical component is in it, but it basically gives you like a tingly, numb feeling around your lips, and so that's what the food is known for, and it's like very spicy, and it's usually like dry spices too, so it's not like not saucy a lot of the times, and so that's kind of what it's based on. When it got Americanized with like Panda Express and Chinese food in the States, it was a little bit more like muted to not make you want to die, just so it could appease to like palates that are not used to it.
Most fast food restaurants in the States, when they advertise something that seems exotic, they always have it muted. Like the big thing was, I think a while ago, was Wendy's with the ghost pepper, chicken and all that stuff. Like, it's like, oh shit, ghost pepper, I'm gonna eat the sandwich and cry my eyes out. And it's like, you bite into it, it's like, oh yeah, it has like maybe 2% of the actual kick to it. Okay, that's, it was so muted, and I'm about to sneeze, but I'm going to keep talking until it happens. It was so muted that I was like, man, this beef jerky over here that says ghost pepper warning extremely hot, maybe it's not that bad then, if I can handle the Wendy's. And then I proceeded to eat snow for like 3 hours, and then had to chug a thing of Pepto-Bismol. Like, I definitely I got fooled. But when the Szechuan sauce came out in the States again through McDonald's, people hopped on it, but it's so toned down that there's really no bringing out the flavor like they probably would have back in the 80s. Well, I think it was early 90s, but yeah. So, oof. That's, but I guess my argument is boneless chicken wings, aka, premium chicken nuggets, if you will. There's been so many sauces, plus they're pre-dipped and all that stuff. It's put right in. So it's like, why not just get that over chicken nuggets at that point?
Well, okay, so you know what? To counter that point, let me look up the definition of chicken nugget. A chicken nugget is a chicken product made from chicken meat that is breaded or battered, then deep fried or baked. So wouldn't a boneless chicken wing essentially then be just a chicken nugget?
You just countered by repeating what I said, a premium chicken nugget.
All right, listen, I'm hungry, all right? I have an excuse.
I'm going to McDonald's after this, so. Good job, guys.
And the focus on that statement was the fact that boneless chicken tenders, or whatever you want to call them, boneless chicken wings, in quotes, are usually completely sauced through and through before you even get them, versus chicken tenders where you got to dip in like a bland thing. So, I mean, you can get a bunch of different, sauce cups and whatnot for your chicken nuggets, but it doesn't seem the same versus the entire wing being covered in that delicious goodness.
Well, again, it also just depends on somebody's personal preference for sauce. But then, having said that, you could probably always just ask for your boneless chicken wings without any sauce, and then ask for the sauce on the side, no matter where you go. So
yeah, and if you're 8 years old, then you can totally do that instead of your chicken nuggets. I respect that.
So then, are we agreeing, which I guess we are, that boneless chicken wings are the grown-ups chicken nuggets?
No. Well, I keep calling them premium mostly because they're more expensive. But yes, when you hit the age of 18, you are legally obligated to go from chicken nuggets.
I don't know about legally obligated, because something
I will
like
fight
not
until
like
my death on that.
Boneless chicken wings.
I don't care, old man. You just want to feel young.
Boneless chicken
wings. Found the source of immortality over here.
They're cheap, man. It's $5 for 20 of them. It's so cheap.
It is $7 for 10 of them over here in Canada.
Oh, that's probably only like what? Is it like half-ish?
It'd be about $5. No, it's like 0.7 or something. 0.8.
0.8. Okay.
Why do I feel like this is just a conflicting promotion for McDonald's at this point? Everybody's like, I want to go to McDonald's. I want a chicken nugget now. It's like, okay, fine. Just because it's the weekend, you're out of class from kindergarten.
Name me another, are there any other fast food joints? Not that they don't have chicken nuggets, but are known for their chicken nuggets. Where like McDonald's is the only place where I've had chicken nuggets that honestly the only thing on the menu that I would regularly order from them if I wasn't in a rush to get to class. Yeah.
For me, it's probably Burger King for a different reason. Because they have this great deal where it's like 10 pieces of chicken nuggets for $1.49 or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
So you can basically get discount chicken nuggets. Nick in the chat saying Wendy's is the only place he gets chicken nuggets.
Wendy's doesn't have Nuggies here.
And yes, Amanda, I know the Burger King chicken nuggets are garbage, but they're $1.49. You dip it in enough sauce, you can't tell them.
Okay, $1.49 for how much? 10. How many nuggets? Sorry, 10?
Yeah,
10 for $1.49.
That's a fucking deal. I'd be buying that all the time.
That's a fucking deal.
That's like
Costco. It's like you do that and you just get super premium, sauce, the real Szechuan sauce.
I will say though, I'd be partial if Wendy's here had the spicy chicken nuggets. I would 100% be partial to them just because they're spicy. So I think that's my goal for when I go to Seattle next time. It's still a lot more flavored than just a bland chicken nugget. Not that you'd eat your chicken nuggets without dipping them in anything, but still, honestly, you just throw spicy on anything. That's the fastest way for you to get me to try something.
And I also, not to throw even more shade on the chicken nuggets, especially with McDonald's in particular, back in the late 90s, one of my favorite Happy Kids meals was the four-piece chicken nugget meal. I loved them. Chicken nuggets were great back in the day. But then I grew up. But my point on this was, I tried them like sometime about 3-4 years ago. When you imagine chicken nuggets from McDonald's, you imagine that thick, flaky coating of the flour, baked in and whatnot. Some thick ass chicken nuggets. You dip it, it can barely fit into the sauce cup. But then when you get them nowadays, they're thin. They thinned out. Like it's super upsetting.
I think that's probably more the fact that you're just an adult now.
And they're just like smaller.
They used to put so much batter. I feel don't fucking do this to me.
I feel like that's just a false recollection of like what it might actually be, a false perception.
I just remember thicker batter texture on that stuff, and I feel like they thinned out on the batter to save money. The chicken itself might be the same, but they used to be really thick with that batter.
Okay. I cannot. Okay. I'm not gonna sit and I can't tell you that you're wrong. Maybe you are right. Yeah. Maybe
you probably weren't even born then. Goddamn 10-year-old.
This is true. Yeah, no, this is true. I will say if you want thicker, flakier.
How much am I getting paid to be babysitter here? By the way, I'm just asking.
No, nothing. We don't pay to an hour, so I can get. We don't pay to babysit. You just do it.
What?
Wow, choosy bagger over here. Watch out.
Yeah, no, it's I guess it's a cultural thing. We'll all usually ask friends or family friends or family to watch kids, and then you just do it.
That's bullshit.
Well,
that is bullshit.
Well, it's not your baby.
Yeah, but it's I guess as much as Indians hate each other, we still kind of watch out for each other, so we don't really expect anything in return. We expect more social favors in turn, getting called out for dinner or being, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's where you find grandmas and stuff, though, who don't have, they're running off of their social security and what in the States, mind you. Yeah. If you try to find somebody who could be working a job and needs job money, for their daily lives, and you tell them, hey, do it for the family. You need to watch our kids so I can make money.
Or I can go have a night out.
Oh, that's not good. Ooh, yeah. I don't think I can give you any of my money.
Rest assured, I would hire a babysitter if it ever came down to that, and I would pay them. I'm just culturally, that's just, that's not the case with Indians.
I need to have a strong talk with the wife, because once it comes down to it, if one of us, if my wife has the kid,
I hope
if I have the kid, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, apparently. Yeah.
Oh, you're reverse Caitlyn Jenner.
Unimaginable. Once we have a kid, it's basically whoever makes less money is the person that's probably going to have to be the stay home. And if it's me, it's me. I'm totally down being the babysitter.
Just ship him up north. I'll whip him into shape.
Ship him up.
You're gonna whip
north.
his baby.
What is wrong with shape.
You?
Figuratively.
Figuratively. Okay. No, because they're gonna come back and be like, Eevee's my favorite Pokemon. You little shit. What did you do to him? I can't have a child training a child.
I'm sorry if I'm gonna teach them the correct ways of the world, Tyler.
I can't lie.
They're gonna be sleeper agents. He's gonna sneak in your house and you're gonna say hello there, and it's all of a sudden you're gonna see him go bloop. He's gonna go straight to your fucking freezer, steal all your chicken nuggets, cook them, and eat them all.
Oh, how do you know there, Dad? How's it going, eh? He's just gonna come back after 2 weeks. So So we haven't really...
Where are the chicken nuggies?
We haven't even talked about bridges.
Fuck bridges! There we go.
What the fuck, dude?
Here's the thing. When I worked at I actually worked at my high school as a para for a while, for 2.5 years before I moved out to LA. And in the health class, because I would have to like attend classes with my high functioning autistic students and just to be there for them. And in the health class, this health teacher every year would buy a McDonald's Happy Meal with a cheeseburger, fries, and a little 6-pack of chicken nuggets. And she would set it up in front of the thing.
I was about to say hell yeah, but then I had to backtrack track that one.
And just leave it there all year. And guess what? That shit doesn't even mold.
Right.
It literally just gets hard as a rock because it's barely food. And so I just thought,
did a science experiment.
Oh no. Chicken nuggets could be made out of a bridge. You could make chicken nuggets you could make a bridge out of stale chicken nuggets with some sort of cementing thing.
Big brain over here, look at you. That's how we combat food waste. I just got real sad
because I love chicken nuggets.
With the declining population of children. $5. Ooh.
You're held.
Be Peter Pan at this rate.
$5 for 20.
Oh God.
I like bridges.
I love being on a diet. So, Bay City, the city that I live in, not to dox myself here, has a lot of bridges. I'm pretty sure we're at 4 or 5 if you count one that is like a double hump bridge. Being at a city where you can make an excuse being late for work is, I got held up by a boat. The bridge was up, constantly. It's an experience. It's cool having a city that's on 2 sides of the river. I think the only problem that I don't like bridges right now is, specifically in town, is they're beginning to get ready to do a toll. They're going to toll people for crossing their own city, which is respectable because they're selling the bridge to a private company, and it's more expensive if you don't live in Bay City. I live in Essexville, which is, adjacent to Bay City. It's not Bay City, but it's adjacent to it. But since it says Essexville in the paperwork, I'm gonna have to pay a ridiculous amount of money compared to anybody that lives in the city just so I can cross the bridge. And that sucks. If I want to go see a movie, I'm gonna have to pay an extra $250 or some shit like that. And that's just no bueno. And every time I say something that's personal, my wife keeps jumping in. So far, it's why are we waiting to have a baby? When are we going to move? When are we going to get married? It's chill.
One of those 3 things is already done.
I say, I think you're already there.
Anyways,
my favorite thing about bridges is when there's a train that goes over a bridge. Because I like trains, I like bridges, and I like water. And when those 3 things meet, you just look out the window and it's pretty.
That's fair. I don't like train bridges typically because that usually means that they're 12'6", aka a truck cannot go under it. And you've seen the videos of people trying to go under train bridges and then they just boom, or they can't open or peel themselves.
Well, I'm pretty sure when you came to visit, I took you over one of the smaller, narrower bridges. It's an old bridge. It's called the Potluck Bridge here in BC. And right next to it is a solo bridge for the local transit system. It's just made for the SkyTrain, it's called. So at least that way it's nice and separated and we don't have to worry about trailers taking their tops off for drivers who...
So you're talking about the elevated track that the monorail goes on as a bridge?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, that's fair. A bridge is something that connects 2 things or goes over something, so I'll call it cool. I think the 2 bridges I remember specifically in the States that is memorable to me is the Mackinac Bridge, being in Michigan and all that stuff. Really love the Mackinac Bridge. Had some great experiences, had some not so great experiences. We're not going to go in details about that. But another bridge I really appreciate is the, I don't know how to pronounce it. Glenn, you're probably going to beat me to this. The Chesapeake Bridge?
The Chesapeake Bay Bridge?
Yes. It connects Maryland to, the other side of Maryland, essentially, if you're heading over to Delaware.
Okay, why is that?
It's just a cool-ass bridge. It's specifically... that area, the Chesapeake Bay, can get foggy at times. And so when you go on the bridge and go over the fog, you look like you're going over into the clouds. You're suddenly above in the sky. And that looks amazing.
Yeah, when it gets colder here, some of our bridges, because it goes over the river, and then the fog just settles on the river. So again, looks like you're going over clouds and you're just driving through the sky. It is tight. I love it.
Good. You understand. You understand.
No,
it's
fucking
such a
fantastic.
cool ass feeling.
The other, there's only one. It's in San Francisco. The standard
Golden Gate Bridge.
The
Golden Gate Bridge. It was pretty. I was in San Francisco for a day, and so I managed.
What's the name of the other bridge that goes over the San Francisco Bay? Do you know what that one is, Glenn?
No, there's 2 bridges.
Okay.
Yeah, there's Golden Gate,
Golden
and then
Gate,
there's
I believe, takes you north, and then the other bridge takes you across the bay that goes east and west.
I guess unless you're from there, for the most part, you don't learn about the other bridge. You just
That's fair. Like
may
the
see it in
idea that I
pictures.
expect. Glenn, you live in California. You should know every single thing about every
I've
single
never been to
city in
San
that.
Fran, so yeah.
Nick's
Nick is
saying
saying
it's the
it's,
Bay Bridge.
Just
The Bay Bridge
huh?
goes to
Okay.
Oakland.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. It goes to Oakland because when you go over the bridge, once you hit the crest, you can see no less than 24 burning couches. So, I mean, it's
My favorite bridge that I've ever been to was the bridge in Lexington, where the shot heard round the world was fired, that started the American Revolution. So,
yes, the great propaganda piece.
oh my gosh. What?
I mean, it happened. It was just over exaggerated, okay?
Oh, absolutely. I just was like, wow, this is where, like, Americans who had migrated said, no, we're done.
Is this okay? No, I can't. Never mind. Carry on. I'm not gonna make a joke. That would be insensitive.
No, the shot heard. This is me being ignorant, trying to remember stuff. The shot heard around the world was focused around the Boston Massacre, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was as a result of, it was kind of a retaliation, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure I remember my shit.
I believe so. I mean, mine is not a recent study either, so I think that we are correct in that. But it was really interesting to be in a place where the history of the country that I currently live in kind of started, so that was pretty interesting. Sure.
Bridges.
If you had to give up,
Oh, sorry. Carry on, Tyler. That was going to be more of
I was
my
gonna ask
closing statement.
if you had to give up one or the other, would you give up being able to go across a bridge or giving up chicken nuggets? I know my answer fairly quickly.
Right.
You'd go around the long way of places just so you could have a chicken nugget.
Better stories, yeah. I love traveling. And I can always
But you
fly
love chicken nuggets
because
more.
I'm a modern man.
Wait.
It's not like I need a bridge to get to Europe.
I mean, you can if you want to. I believe it's called the Bering Strait. That's a bridge between continents.
It is a land bridge. Yeah, you're not
That's
wrong.
metaphysical right there.
Yeah. But it only exists for a short time of year, and I would probably fly even if I could go across bridges, which I now apparently can't. So.
Oh, that sounds like a story. I'm not sure if I should ask. Nick, your answer. Would you give up bridges or chicken nuggets?
Chicken nuggets.
You'd give up chicken nuggets?
Yeah, bridges are tight. I was gonna say that if you ever watch, I've watched 1 or 2 documentaries about bridges, short ones. They are a feat.
Modern marvel.
Yeah, they're a feat of engineering. They are, I think, a testament to the heart, the pure basis of science and engineering that we function on as a society. And bridges just fascinating the way they're constructed and the way they hold things up, and the fact that they essentially, at a glance, defy physics if you don't understand how they operate. I love bridges. Walking across bridges is pretty because essentially these are things that connect two pieces of land that would be otherwise treacherous to cross the river, or you'd have to take the long way around, that we've been doing for the past a century and a half.
Right.
Bridges are tight. Yeah.
Right. No, I respect that. I mean, on the plus side, you could say, you can keep bridges, but then you upgrade to the proper item,
Yeah, chicken
boneless chicken
tendies.
wings.
Yay!
If you can say tenders, I'll work with you for middle ground, but knowing you, that is like a hill you'll die on.
Chicken tendies. All right, so
You'll die with the chicken tendy in hand.
we're going to move on to our topic of the show. And Tyler, you penned this one. It's a simple one, but why don't you take us away with this?
Sure. So the topic of the show, I didn't want to be topical. I just wanted to enjoy ourselves. I want us to relax and keep it casual, This is the casual talk edition. What is your favorite video game, and what do you remember when you first played it? Now, Glenn just slammed his head into the microphone, which is a good start. I'm not sure if Glenn are you having a stroke? You okay?
No, yeah, I'm fine. I've been thinking about it since I read it for a while, and it's a pretty loaded question.
You can't pick one?
They're
all my favorite. I have so many memories with each one.
It's that I have 3 that I can't say no to. Like I've got.
Then roll a dice.
I don't do that.
Okay, fine.
They're all my favorite.
I don't. You can only have one flavor ice cream. I want all 3.
Well,
you can only have one. Well, give me 1/3 of each.
I guess I could narrow it down to 2.
No, I sound like Pete. Oh, no, I was trying to sound like Pete from the Disney character. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo.
Pete?
Yeah, you don't know Pete?
No.
And like the antagonist to most Mickey Mouse. The walrus guy? Goof Troop? The neighbor?
Right. Yeah, he has, yeah, Pete. Mm-hmm.
Look at me. I'm cooking burgers.
Yeah, in my super nice technological trailer. Yeah. So my 2 favorite games are...
Oh, you cut it down to 2. Wow.
I got it down to 2.
Name the third. I want to hear what the third is. Which one did you cut out of your life just now?
I'm going to leave it to the abyss. We'll talk about it after the show.
It's going to stare back at you, man. You better watch out.
It will. I know. It's either... Man, I just feel like everyone's going to hate me after this. Dragon Age Origins.
Okay.
Or Mass Effect 2.
Okay.
Those are great options. Why would we hate on you for that?
I don't know. I just feel like
was it because the third one was like Stardew Valley or some shit and you just threw it away?
Well, no.
So this top 5 though.
This is also what is your favorite video game? Fuck everybody else. Yeah. What is a game that you've enjoyed playing the most?
I
didn't ask what is the best video game.
Like the God of War series, which I have yet to touch. Breath of the Wild, which I'm now working through. There's some very critically acclaimed games. Very similar, I've never seen 3 Billboards. I've never seen Birdman. I've never watched Marriage Story. There's a lot of really good movies I have also not seen. And I get a little bit of flack for it sometimes. So in the video game,
don't worry, I've never watched Top Gun and I get a lot of flack for that.
It's fine. You like Tom Cruise.
A little research was made into this. I couldn't give you credit, so it's probably fake research, but mind you. And I believe I said the statement one time before in the early parts of Casual Master Quest days. A person's favorite video game is usually something that they played between the ages of 12 and 14 because at that age, they're easily impressionable and it leaves such a lasting impact on their psyche that they keep it near and dear to their heart. Even if, objectively it's not that great of a game. So, that being said, with the big gaming boom back in the late 90s, that's why everybody loves the hell out of Final Fantasy VII. Even though nowadays you look at it and it's like, ugh. Or Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time and whatnot. Those are still good games, but even though there are vast improvement on those kind of games, people still say that's their favorite game of all time.
Okay, you have to know my third.
Uh-oh.
It's Twisted Metal 2.
I respect it.
Okay.
It's a solid game with a solid soundtrack.
Oh shit, I didn't mute myself.
He didn't mute himself.
Yeah. I was like, man, both of those other games, Origins and everything is post 2005. And then I was like, oh, the third that I did cut, that was definitely a late 90s.
Okay, if it helps, my favorite game, I wouldn't say of all time, but going based off Tyler's statement that had a deep, profound impact on me was Ratchet & Clank 2.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense, right? With the logic I threw in there that, at that age, you're smart enough and old enough that you can play almost any game within reason and understand it, and it leaves a hell of an impression.
Ratchet & Clank 2, I went over to a buddy's house. He's like, hey, I got this game. And then it was in the early parts of the game and he was struggling with the first boss. And he's like, I can't do this. And I'm like, let me try. And then I fucking learned how to strafe and shoot my gun at the same time. And he was amazed and I killed that boss. And I was like, all right, cool. I really like this game. Mom, I need a PS2 and this game. He's like, no. He's like, all right, sick. Got one a few months later, beat the shit out of that game, played it over and over again. It got really tough at some point, my first playthrough, that I couldn't play it anymore, so I had to stop for a few years. Got Ratchet & Clank 3, beat that, went back to Ratchet & Clank 2. I'm like, I've leveled up, bitch. Beat that boss, and then finished the game.
Nice.
Wow.
That's
Nick
my story.
Ratchet &
Nick
Clank
just had
2,
a child.
Yeah, I
a
fucking
childhood power move.
Fucking loved Ratchet & Clank 2. Ratchet & Clank 2, 3, and 4, which was called Deadlocked, or at least Dreadlocked in Europe, I think. But because those games had early games plus, New Game Plus, they didn't call it New Games Plus, but it was essentially the same. Like, you just start off with the same equipment you had at the end of your first run, but everything's much more difficult, and you could like level up the weapons further, like one level further or whatever. And
like prestiging.
Yeah, essentially. And I think this was before I was even 16, 17. Like, I played Ratchet & Clank 2, 3, 4, Jak and Daxter 2, 3, and X, like, several times over. Like, if we were to find my PS2 memory cards, I've probably put collectively at least 400 or 500 hours in those games, because my parents would be gone, it'd be summer vacation, I'd wake up, play Jak and Daxter, like, Jak 2 for the 16th time, because why not?
Random question for you, Nick. Let's say that memory card's lost to the void, but somebody, like, mysterious stranger from the shadows comes forward and he shows that he has that exact memory card, pristine condition, everything on there. How much would you pay for it?
Hang on. I'm gonna be that shadowy figure myself and get that. Give me 1 minute.
Fuck! He still has it.
I mean...
I just said if it disappeared to the void and he came back and somebody offered it to him, how much he would pay, and he's like... Fuck your rules. I'm walking off and showing you this. Like, I'm not suggesting you just had a nightmare, Nick. Jesus. Probably mixing his fucking spaghetti sauce.
I did that too, but here's my 8 megabyte crystal PlayStation 2 memory card.
Oh my god, nice.
Now, if you, hypothetically, of course, I don't want you to get scared and eat too many chicken nuggets here, like a child. How much would you pay to have that back if it got lost? Like,
easily between
easily
between $200 to $500.
Okay.
Because it's one of those things. Again,
it got stolen, it got ran over or some shit, and someone was able to bring it back.
Even that might be too much, because I feel like at this point, because it's been so long since I've played them, I just want to play them over again.
But wouldn't you want to see your original accomplishments? Like, holy crap, that's where I beat the game for the first time on that.
Yes. This
is proof that I beat it back in the day.
Yes, but also no, because I know I beat it. Okay. And for me, like, that's enough. Like, I put so much time into these games, and I need to fucking get a transformer so I can make my PS2 work here in NA, North America. Like, yeah, no, I miss these games. I bought all my PS2 and PS1 games with me, and the only thing that I need to get my PS2 to work here is a transformer, because the input voltage required is too low. Like in Europe, it's 240 volts. That comes from mains. Here it's only 110 or so. So I need a step-down transformer to make it work. Right.
The big dream. Maybe a good birthday gift, though, if we can figure it out, though.
Well, no, see, like, honestly, like, I'm just being lazy, because a step-down transformer is only about $25-$30. It's not a lot. I just haven't done it.
Or a fucking birthday gift. Give me some slack. Jesus. Then what do you got there?
What do you have there?
A memory card.
For what?
PlayStation
2? Both of you? For real?
Yeah. Granted, now this doesn't have all of my original file saves on it, because one thing we always did when I was growing up is we would always trade in the older console to get the new one and keep some of the games that we really liked, because usually consoles were cross-platform compatible, so you could play your PS1 games on your PS2. It wasn't a big deal, but now they don't do that anymore. Anyway, but this one, friend of mine, longtime childhood friend, we've been friends since I was 9 years old, 8 or 9, and they were moving out of their original house that they had lived in for that whole duration of our friendship, and they had us go in and clean up stuff while they were out of town, my brother and I, and they were like, yeah, just throw everything away in the house that is left, because we don't want any of it. And we were like, okay, great, they're like, yeah, there's some furniture, just break it down, put it out in the back, and blah blah blah. And we found their PS2, 4 controllers, all the games. And we were just like, what do you want to do with these? You want us to take them and we can give them to the guys, because they have 3 sons. And they were like, yeah, if you want to. So I messaged each of them. They're like, no, you guys can just take it. So I got like a full collection of PlayStation 2 games,
nice.
A bunch of PS3, some Xbox One games, a PS2 itself with a memory card, with assuredly some games that I helped save on there, some Dynasty Warriors.
And so that'd be even sweeter, because you didn't like, hey, we found this, let's just take it without telling them. You're like, no, we'll tell them. You told them. They're like, no, it's fine, you can keep it. It was like, yes, score.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
I was really sad too, because I gave away my Pokemon card collection to their youngest son when I thought I was too cool for Pokemon cards, and now I'm like 30 years old, and I'm like, give me all the Pokemon cards. And when I was going through their house, because he lost them. And I was like, there's no way they're lost in this giant house. They're somewhere. And so I looked so hard for them. They're just genuinely not there. So most of my Pokemon card collection's gone. I still have some of my Gen 1 stuff, but like I had like a first edition Pikachu and some other pretty decently valuable cards back then. I completely changed the subject. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was going to say that I do not have a PlayStation 2 memory card on me. Sorry to say. So, you know, if you want, somebody wants to give me one so I can pretend I have all my save files on and you can't prove it because no one has a PS2 on hand, that's great. Otherwise, like for me, I think it would be a PlayStation 1 memory card. Same thing. Like, I'm for and against the idea of somehow magically recovering it. Great. The fucking Scientology is coming to recruit me at this point. Oh, jeez. I don't think I would want the memory card for the PlayStation 1 because, I'd look at it and go, holy shit, I was a fucking idiot with how I played this game. I'd rather just do it over again and show how it's properly done. Or, if I did get it, there's so many games I probably didn't get to complete as a kid, either because they were too hard or whatnot, especially PlayStation 1 era. Like, I'm pretty sure I've never did the 100% completion for Spyro to see the final level and all that, and I'm pretty sure I still haven't seen the final level. So there's probably a bunch of games where it's like, I'll complete this, let me finish this right here, I'll complete what I could not before. And I think that would be something exciting. Back on the logic of the 12 to 14-year-old era, that would probably mean for me, hypothetically, I don't think it's the case, it would be Wind Waker for the GameCube back in like 2003, 2004 time. But it's not, as it turns out, because I didn't get every single game in console when they came out at the time. I was falling behind by a generation or so because I was poor as shit. And so, because of that, back when the GameCube was the hot ticket item, I was back on the system before called the Nintendo 64, which had Ocarina of Time. So, back when I was 12, 14, I was playing Ocarina of Time. I fell in love with it like a motherfucker, and it is easily one of my favorite games today. Around that same time, I was also playing Link to the Past. Link to the Past also was a great game. Completely different style of playing when it comes to Zelda, but it had a similar style. I used to say Link to the Past was my favorite game of all time, but, you know, I've been playing both of them, you know, over the past few years, and Ocarina of Time just holds up more. There's more fun to be had with it, especially with Randomizer and stuff, and it just... I'm always learning, like, silly, stupid stuff I can do with it that I can't do with Link to the Past. Link to the Past holds a great spot in my heart, and you guys knew from the start it was going to have to be a Zelda game, right? It was like, oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1 for sure for the PlayStation 2. No, slap that shit right out of my mouth.
I was kind of hoping for a big surprise reveal, but, you know, I guess I'm disappointed.
I mean, I can pull something out of my ass if you want.
What's a game that
that'd
you
be
really
a nice
enjoyed
surprise
when you were younger that we wouldn't expect?
Some games that people would have no idea what they are. Probably Disney's Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse for the Super Nintendo.
No, that still feels like something I'd expect you to enjoy, honestly.
Well, I mean, okay, give me a genre that you wouldn't expect me to enjoy as a kid.
Any kind of
Don't
shooter.
say horror because... Okay, a shooter. Let's see. Back in the day, probably my favorite shooter game.
GoldenEye?
Yeah. You know, I've never actually beaten GoldenEye proper. I always used cheats and stuff because...
What about Perfect Dark?
I'd never played Perfect Dark Zero. Or Perfect
I'm talking
Dark.
about... Yeah, I was say base-ass Perfect Dark. Yeah, they were both good N64 shooters.
I really liked I don't remember which one it was, but it was a WWE game that came out on the Nintendo 64. Conker's Bad Fur Day would be another one. Definitely one of my favorite games, but it staled very quickly. I'm trying to think of a game that like throws you off the tracks. Nick, you talked about a bunch of games that you enjoyed. What is your favorite game, though?
That's like I'm in Glenn's camp here. Like it's hard because I have a list. Sorry. Like if we're talking about like old school, I think for me there's two phases in my life when it comes to gaming. Pre-Canada and post-Canada. Because pre-Canada, I didn't really have access to like internet and online gaming. Post-Canada, I did. So pre-Canada, it'd be things like any of the platformers, Ratchet & Clank, the Jak and Daxter series, some of the racing games, Burnout Revenge, Carbon. I love the Prince of Persia series, like Pokemon games growing up, and then post-Canada, and then Halo as well, you know, and then post-Canada was Halo on, and then that's when PvP came into play in Destiny. But if we're talking about post-Canada, my favorite game that I've played in the last few years, I came to Canada in 2014, my favorite game that I've played is most definitely The Witcher 3. By like miles, like leaps and bounds. The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, is my favorite game. I think it will quite easily take the top spot almost, if Platinum wasn't there. Like, Platinum and The Witcher 3 would fight for the same spot. Pokemon Platinum.
Like Platinum the Medal?
Pokemon Platinum.
I just remembered there's a shooter game that I used to play back in 2004 that I absolutely loved.
Oh?
Oh, yeah. It was called Metroid Prime.
There you go.
Okay.
That feels like it'd be right up your alley,
It's not the answer you're expecting.
Yeah, no, because, you know what? I guess the only thing that would surprise me is if you played a multiplayer shooter game and you truly loved it, because Metroid is still is still a Nintendo game, and you are a Nintendo person, so like that still makes sense and it fits you.
No,
so
no. I got Pokemon the first movie as my centerpiece up there.
No,
but yeah, Pokemon Platinum, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt would contest for my top spots, followed by. And Destiny,
I also play a multiplayer shooter, Splatoon 2.
I'll give you that.
Don't give me that fucking look.
I'll give you that. Oh, sure.
Don't fucking.
I thought you were gonna say League, and I was gonna go Tyler.
I mean, back in high school days, I used to play Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare a lot. That was my big thing back in the day. But I never really got to play with friends. I just got a kick out of the idea that I had a 50 caliber Barrett sniper rifle, and that was the cool thing back in the day.
I played a lot of Condition Zero solo because I couldn't play online because it was a pirated copy and the servers wouldn't let you connect.
Oh.
And I've definitely played plenty of Halo 3 back in the day. It's just, yeah, you're right. Shooters probably wasn't my thing. It seemed like, I think by the time it took off, the shooter craze didn't really start until maybe my sophomore year. And freshman year was pretty much like the time for me to have it, essentially, right. Or not. And I just completely missed the window. And Nick just brought up my name I used to have in PS3 called Tycho Sniper. God. God.
What is so the Tycho thing? What is that from?
Can't we say that for a different topic of the show?
Is that bad?
No, it's not bad. It's just embarrassing.
Oh, I mean, I know a guy that his handle is Tycho.
I'll tell you the history of how Tycho came to be. Nick already knows where I'm going with this. If Nick tells us why his name is LR.
So, I think that's going to be it for topic of the show, so we're going to move right into game releases. Glenn, we have quite a few games coming out. Do you want to start us off here with this list?
I would love to. It looks like coming out on all consoles and PC. No mobile, but consoles and PC on February 25th. Mega Man 0/ZX Legacy Collection, which I assume is a remastering. Yes?
Yes, for sure. Like Mega Man 0 and the ZX. I mean, they have so many fucking legacy collections of different versions of their Mega Man games, but it's almost guaranteed that either this is going to be a remaster for the newest generation, or it's just the next step in their remasters.
Yeah. Here, we need to place bets now, I think. How long will it be with the success of Sonic before Mega Man gets a live-action movie?
There is a large-scale war that's happening in the chat. Sorry to the podcast listeners. Apparently, my wife knows the secret to LR's name, and some reason Brandon, aka Zigzagoon, also knows.
What?
And what the fuck is going on here?
How do they both know?
I love rocks. I love 11 rocks. That's
11 of them.
Yes.
Oh, LR, they're being facetious. Got it.
Well, no, Amanda definitely knows. That I don't doubt.
I mean, Amanda doesn't usually lie on these kind of situations. Brandon just fucking okay. He's going full Steven Universe on us. Anyways, Rune Factory 4 Special coming out on Nintendo Switch on February 25th, which is also my birthday.
Happy birthday, Tyler!
Thank you.
Happy birthday!
Nick got me thank you for the gift, Nick.
Oh, no problem.
I'll praise it to everybody. He got me a set of dice from Kraken.
Kraken dice.
Nice. Kraken makes nice dice.
Some cool ass translucent blue-green dice. I'd show it off, but yeah. I can show it off afterwards.
Yeah.
All the audio you're going to hear is ching, 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 ching.
Rune Factory 4 Special looks like it's a port from the Nintendo DS version that came out in 2012.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. And then we have 2 Point Hospital coming out on all consoles on February 25th. I assume this is a medical game?
No.
Nah.
No?
Honestly, I think it's a cooking game.
2 Point Hospital?
Design stunning hospitals, cure peculiar illnesses, and manage troublesome staff as you spread your budding healthcare organization across 2 Point Country.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is, console release for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Wonderful. And then
Nick in the
next
chat
we
suggesting
have-
it's a nurse love game. Oh boy.
We also have another February 25th release, so it looks like we've officially gotten past the hump of nothing coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Wasteland remastered on PC and Xbox One. What? Hey,
I think I've heard of 2 Point Hospital because my wife actually has this game, and she just brought this up where they give you like random ailments that don't actually exist, but I'm trying to remember like a good example. It would be like they had to surgically reattach the tongue because the cat actually took it, kind of thing, or some, it's just something silly like that.
Oh, okay.
And I was getting ready to fight Nick because I think Nick in the chat, because I thought he was gonna like call me out on something, but he just meant he got something for me for my birthday. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it.
Wasteland Remastered is a remastered version of the 1988 title.
1988. Holy crap.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Wow.
It appears that it is a post-apocalyptic RPG game, like very, very top-down, old-school kind of game. Yeah.
Huh. And then next on our list, we have a game called Bloodroots coming out on console.
Bloodroots
And PC.
Yep.
On February 28th.
Cell shaded, stylized. It looks like basically it's what do you call it? Hack and mash kind of game where you run around. Anything on the ground essentially is your weapon, and instead of it being the Wild West, it's the Weird West, which is interesting. It's coming out for the consoles and PC on the 28th. Nice.
Yeah, the art style for this looks really cool.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's almost Samurai Jack-ish.
Oh, now you got me thinking.
And the next game we have is a game called, I think that there's more to this name. Is it Metro 2033 Redux? Or is that a different game?
I think that's in the right vein. And now that I was put on the spot here, yeah, it's
or is it just Metro Redux?
So Metro 2033 Redux is I believe it might be a remastered or like a Game of the Year edition kind of thing, but it is the first game in the Metro series.
Okay.
Yes.
But that is coming out for Nintendo Switch on February 28th.
Yes.
Really? The Nintendo Switch of all things.
The original game came out in 2010. Redux came out on PC in 2013, a little later, I think in 2014 or something. And so now it's getting the Switch port, which I think they announced a little while ago, which I guess it's a sign of companies just testing the capabilities of the Switch, and CD Projekt Red was very successful with running the Switcher on it. The Switcher. I call it the fucking Switch.
The old Switcher.
Okay, here we go. Oh, that's what this is. Metro Redux is the ultimate double game collection, including the definitive versions of both Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. So it's a combination of the remastered edition.
What was that, Glenn?
Did you not hear me?
No, you're leaning away from the mic and you're.
I apologize.
No, that's okay.
Metro Redux is a combination. It's a double game, actually. It has both the definitive editions of both Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. So
nice.
They remastered it and comboed it and put it on and ported it over to the. I'm interested to see why that's not out for more than just Nintendo Switch, though. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, there's a possibility it might be out for the consoles already, and they just bumped it over to the Nintendo Switch. That's also a firm possibility.
And then the next game on our list is One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows on PS4 and Xbox One, which is also coming out on the 28th.
What a sad title. I just want to point out that it's coming out in Japan on the 27th, but then worldwide for the 28th. Like, is that just a shout out to Japan, I guess, at that point?
That's got to be the case. Have you seen the anime?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it so much. It's so good.
And this game in particular is going to be a 3D arena fighting game style, so think like Budokai Tenkaichi style, or I guess.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
I think that's the only thing you could do with that storyline is just to have it just be a goofy fighting game, you know?
Developed by Bandai Namco and Spike Chunsoft, so should be good.
Yeah. Big names.
Yeah.
My only problem with it is if you play as Saitama, is it just you fight a boss and you punch it one time and they die?
There's no way you can fight Saitama. You can be Saitama,
like
right?
that's a hard thing. Like either you don't have Saitama in the game because you can't. Like I honestly would love if they did that, but that's not going to be the case. But I would
you play.
Like you'd have
play
to
as the cyborg guy all the time.
You just have to play as somebody else every time because you can't play Saitama because all you have to do is go blink and then just die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think one of my favorite fights in that whole show was when he wanted to train with Saitama in that like gorge, and they trained and they worked hard, and he didn't kill him. You know,
Genos did. He worked hard.
Genos. Yeah,
he really went for it.
Right, and that's what I think would be really funny
running.
is if the goal of this game was just to find out which character and which style you liked most, fighting through the game, and like through different checkpoints in the game, you had to try and hit Saitama one time.
I was thinking the big brain simulator would be you play as Saitama, but you can't actually attack, you just dodge everybody until they get tired.
Try to survive as long as possible.
Dodge simulator! And then you'll get the special ability to close punch them to freak them out, and then they just give up.
Yeah, I love that show. I'm waiting for season 2. Last but not least, for sure, because this is another series that holds a special place in my heart, even though every game is the exact same as the last one. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14.
Holy shit.
So I'd never heard of this game series, and I just did quick research. So the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, this is verbatim from the Wikipedia article, so take it for what you will, is a 14th century historical novel attributed to Liu Guanzong. It is set in the turbulent years towards the end of the Han Dynasty in the Three Kingdoms period in Chinese history, starting in 169 AD and ending with the reunification of the land in 280. So I guess it's a video game retelling.
Every game is just, every game you're playing a different character that belongs to one of the main three factions, and you are attempting to sway history in one way or another. So if I side with Cao Cao, then I, am trying to push his agenda, and in that timeline, now Cao Cao has become the one that unified the lands, or Liu Bei, or Lu Bu, or any of those guys. My favorite guy was Zhao Yun, but it was a lot of fun to just swing through enemies and do ults where you just send 60 people flying into the air. It's a fun game.
So it's a kind of like a Dynasty Warrior style game then?
Yeah. Well, I think Romance of the Three Kingdoms allows you to do a little more Civ-like stuff where you're making political decisions as well as fighting through the actual battles. But yeah, it's in the same vein as Dynasty Warriors, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. And that's coming out on the 28th of February, so Tuesday.
Yep.
And so that's it for game releases, and we're going to move right on to...
Friday. I meant Friday. My birthday's Tuesday.
Your birthday's Tuesday. Not all the days revolve around your birthday, Tyler. But happy birthday. Love you.
Am I getting... A child should not be talking like that to an adult, okay?
This is true. Many apologies, sir. But we're going to move on to This Day in Gaming for February 24th. And we have a few games on this list that I think are all interesting. I know 3 of them. And I'm going to start this off with the first one because I listed this. Hollow Knight came out for the PC for the first release in 2017 on This Day in Gaming.
Man, remember
February 24th.
When the game became big because it came out for the Switch?
Yes, sadly. It had a cult following, and then it came out on the Switch. Everybody's, this is amazing, this is revolutionary. How? And I'm like,
I can't believe I've never played this game before. And everyone's like, well, it's been, I don't care.
I don't care.
So happy 3rd birthday to Hollow Knight.
Yeah, happy 3rd birthday, Hollow Knight.
Tyler, do you want to tell us about this next game?
Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I thought it was spelled with an X. I'm pretty sure it's spelled with an X. Nick in the chat would know this game more than I do, but it's a game that came out 5 years ago. Holy crap, Xenoverse is 5 years old. That's so crazy.
I honestly feel like it just came out for some reason.
It is a game where Nick in the chat's probably going to correct me as much as he can. Basically, you can make your own character and whatnot and go through the different storylines and whatnot as your own character, and you can train with titular characters. Like I believe I watched Nick make himself as a Saiyan character to be trained under the mighty Vegeta, who gave him some backhanded compliments. You know, oh yeah, you're pretty good for a wimp. It's like, okay, cool.
For a human.
Nick is saying that you became time police, and you essentially, I guess, I'm guessing you're on
Havercorn.
Sure, yes. And that's why you went through the story again. Thank you, Nick, in the chat, for guiding me along. You're a beautiful shepherd. As your custom-made character that never appeared in any of the anime, but since it's a game and you went back in time to help rectify things, there you are.
Nice. So happy 5th birthday to Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Also, I fixed the spelling. It is with an X.
Thank you,
Glenn. The next game is another one that I listed. Bulletstorm came out for the PC, PS3, Xbox 360 in 2011. Happy 9th birthday to Bulletstorm. What made this game so special was...
Happy 9th birthday.
It's a single-player game. It had co-op capabilities, or co-op functionality, but as a single-player game, it was interesting because you'd go through the campaign, or like each section or chapter or whatever it was divided into, and they'd be scoring a la... like Bayonetta, Japanese-style games. Where, they give you a grade or whatever at the end. And so it's like, it doesn't really matter, but like something to make you feel good about yourself. But here the difference was that this scoring was based on how creatively you killed your enemies. Because you had like this, it's a sci-fi game and it's a shooter, third-person shooter. So you had like a whip attachment on your left arm, and so you could either pull people towards you, push people away, like whip them left and right. So I think one of the highest scoring in one specific level was whipping people into a exhaust fan and getting them sliced and diced up.
Into shape.
So Indiana Jones them with the airplane propeller.
Thorn whip.
So I can't remember too much, because they did put out a remastered edition, I think 2 or 3 years ago, but like it not forced you, but it rewarded you for being creative in the way you killed people by either interacting with your environment or like doing things to them, and not just simply shooting them. Glenn, you seem
it's raining so hard outside and I love it.
I was like, who the fuck is sitting right next to Glenn tapping their keyboard whenever he talks? And it's like, I keep hearing...
That is the rain. Okay. That's amazing.
Turn my mic more towards me.
Oh. Well. And the last one... Are you telling me the shush or Rain the shush? Because both are going to give you disastrous results.
Rain.
Rain will get you wet. I'll fight you.
Is water wet?
Or something. Wow. I mean, that is kindergarten level science, since you love fucking chicken nuggets still. Jesus.
Tyler, tell us about this last game on our list.
So, Gex Enter the Gecko is a game that came out for the PlayStation 1 in 1998. It is a 22-year-old game, which freaks me the fuck out. It's a game. It's more of a tragedy of a game that should have gone great, but it just went downhill so quickly that it became a joke. For those who remember Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is a moderate success in the era, it was Conker's Bad Fur Day was a game that made parodies of certain things, like there was a Terminator boss fight against a haystack, or you're reliving Saving Private Ryan in a scene where it's evil teddies versus squirrels or whatnot. Gex tried following the same thing in Spyro-like levels where they are going into specific themes. Gex Enter the Gecko tries to focus on the James Bond theme overall, but it does it so poorly that it's like, oh yeah, I'm a gecko, and we're gonna sexualize it. I'm like, whoa, no. And so
so low effort furry.
With that low effort scaly, or I guess geckos are amphibians, so. But on top of that, the designs were piss poor, but they tried focusing so much on the theme that it was comical. It was held together by duct tape, and it was frustrating because it looked like it could have been cool. The premise was cool. It's like, imagine if fucking Rockstar made Bully, but they forgot to make the school kind of situation. It's like, the premise of being a bully is cool, but there's nothing there to be a bully to, essentially. Or in this case, trying to be an agent style character. And I shouldn't talk too much shit out of it. You know, it's getting old, man. You know, it's
they
22
took the character
years
model and made the Geico, mascot.
Right. Yeah. He cleaned himself up. He Robert Downey Jr. himself, and now he's selling car insurance. Good on him. You know.
If it helps, Gecko Enter the Gecko was developed by Crystal Dynamics.
The people that made Square Enix's Tomb Raider.
Yes.
Should I know them for anything else, or
no?
Oh, okay.
But that they also made the Legacy of Kain. They did that series, which
that's fair.
But yeah, that's gonna be it for the show. We're gonna start wrapping up here. Tyler, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at 2timestyler, all letters, one word, 2timestyler. Or you can see my cool picture. I got rainbow specs on right now. I feel like
very tight. I like them.
Thank you. So a lot better than the red ones.
Yes, but that's just me and my fucking picky personal taste. But I really like them. They're really cool. They're very. You don't have
to bring yourself down. Your opinion is strong, but it's yours. That's the most important part, right?
Vibey. I like them.
Vibey. Ooh, I like vibes. Ooh. I'm wearing my rainbow specs, my old Pokemon hat, and a Christmas sweater for some reason, just because I'm feeling toasty.
Glenn, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch at Razeth, Raezeth. I stream usually Monday through Friday, with a few exceptions randomly, kind of on and off, but most of the time. And on Twitter at Glenn Houston with 2 N's and looks like Huston.
Nice.
And, you can find me.
Where can we find you, buddy?
Me. You can find me on Twitch and on Instagram at LR11, all letters. And you can also find me on Twitter at LR the11th, also all letters. But enough about me. You can find the show, Casual Master Quest, on Twitter primarily at CMQ Network, where we have a link that'll take you to all the wonderful places we are on the internet, including our Discord group. You can listen to the show, Casual Master Quest, on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and most other places where you can find podcasts. You can email us if you ever have any questions, concerns, comments, want to say hi, at casualmasterquest@gmail.com. And beyond that, we have a D&D podcast called Casual Quest Masters, where it's a 5th edition live play podcast where Glenn is our dungeon master, and it's me, Tyler, and Brandon, and we explore Faerun. Is there anything else before we end off here?
Yeah, you can find Brandon, aka Zigzagoon, on Twitter at Zigzagoon, ZIGGSAGOO. And who fucking cares? Nope, that's it.
All right, well then, thank you very much for listening. This was episode 88 of Casual Master Quest.
88?
88. Happy birthday, Tyler.
Thank you.
Everybody else, thank you for listening.
I'll be turning 29.
29. What a beautiful number. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week, and we'll catch you soon. And don't forget to never stop the grind. Peace.
See you guys next week.
I'll miss you.
Boom, bitch! I beat you to it. The intro to the podcast, titled Casual Master Quest, was paid for and produced by the wonderful talent Revelries Music. You can find more of their work at soundcloud.com/Revelries Music, or just click on the link in the show descriptions. The background music is the album Top 50 Best Classical Piano Music by Brilliant Classics. You can find out more about Creative Commons at www.creativecommons.org/license/by/4.0.